When time changes nothing, it's time for a change. That's one of the lines in one of my favorite songs that I'm listening to these days. A new artist, actually, it's country and western, and I am not a country and western guy, but this particular artist is it just caught my attention, and um, man, some of the lyrics in his songs is just so profound, and they just hit right on the mark for people, for especially me who are going through this personal growth journey. I just want to speak to you real quick about why I do this, and I know the last video I did, I kind of explained some of that to you, gave you a little bit of my history and why it is that I decided to become a life coach and a public speaker. And I was living my life. It felt as if I was living someone else's life. It's almost like I wasn't living my whole life. I wasn't living my wholeness of my life, and I knew that. I knew that um, in order for me to feel like a whole individual, I had to figure out why I was feeling that way. And it was the beginning of my journey. The beginning of my journey was joining Toastmasters and going up there and standing in front of these strange people, strangers, and start to talk. My voice was so shaky, it felt as if it was vibrating off the wall. Now, I'm not trying to scare you away from Toastmasters. I'm just trying to give you some idea of what it may take in order to start on this journey. You have to start somewhere. And please don't do like I did, because I actually waited until I was forced to change. I began to lose everything. I began to lose I lost my marriage. I lost my job, a job that was paying me close to, I mean, 100 grand a year. I lost my home. I lost my family unit. I lost cars. I lost furniture. I lost a whole bunch of material things. But that's okay because what I gained from losing all of that was I gained me. I gained the wholeness of me, or at least the beginning of finding that wholeness of who I really am and beginning to live that authentic life that I preach so much about. So I'm just asking you, and I just want you to realize that you don't have to wait that long. You don't have to wait until something, a disaster happens in your life, such as divorce, such as loss of loved ones, um, illnesses, or whatever. And here's another thing that I learned along the way is that if you are not living a life of who you are, your authentic life, if you are not in that lane, this is, and believe me, that lane of living authentic is so much smoother than living that life of living your life the way that you think other people want you to live your life. Now, living your life authentically is not easy, is not 100% easy as well, because there are still some obstacles out there that want to keep us, people from living the way that they should or they want to live. So I just want to let you know you don't have to wait until those disasters hit you in order for you to start thinking about some coaching to get yourself to the point of where you are living in a life of enjoyment. And the way I try to always explain it to people, especially where I'm at now in my life, is that I live a life of enjoyment. And when I say that, what I mean is that my life is to the point to where, yeah, shit happens, man, all the time. I mean, things still happen. I can't stop those unpleasant things from happening in my life. I mean, I can only control what I can control. But here's the point, because I have begun to become aware of who I am, and because I have begun to love who I am, accept who I am, okay with who I am, able to live and to be by myself, it's incredible. That's the enjoyment. I get this enjoyment. Things, like I said, things still happen, but now with my emotional intelligence that I have now, because I'm more aware of who I am and aware of my emotions and the way that they are triggered, and the way that I can uh, I, control those things. Now I live that enjoyable life. Things happen, but I know how to get out. I know how to respond to them now. I'm not angry for weeks at a time anymore. Someone once said to me, and I thought this was just such a profound moment with me when I heard this, and it says that if you are angry more than 10 minutes, you're faking it. Have you ever known these people who it seems as if they just want to wallow in that kind of stuff, wallow in misery? There are people like that. And I think at one time I was probably like that as well. If you are looking for coaching, if you're looking for someone who can help guide you to a place of this joyful life, why don't you consider me? Why don't we have a conversation? Let's talk and see if we're a good fit. If we're not a good fit, I know other coaches, and I know some very good coaches. I would be more than happy to hook you up with them. This is just not a thing where I'm out selfishly for myself. Yeah, do I want to get paid for coaching? Yes, I do. But the most important thing to me, and I mean this to the bottom of my heart, the most important thing to me is for you to get to where you are enjoying your life. I don't want you living that life of mundane, that every day you're going through that same old thing every day, being miserable. Now, this isn't for everybody. Everybody doesn't need coaching. Just a few, just some people do. Actually, I believe that everyone can benefit from coaching. Well, I think I've ran my mouth long enough here. And I just set up my website. I'm going to have all of that posted on the major platforms real soon, like Facebook, YouTube, X, and all of those. So you'll be seeing me around, LinkedIn. You'll be seeing me around, and just consider the investment. It is probably the best investment you can make. Not only investment of your money, but investment of your time. And that is to become aware of who you are, become aware of your strength, your weaknesses, become aware of your uniqueness, become aware of your rareness, become aware of there is no one in the world like you. You're the only one. And you're the only one that can complete the purpose, the reason why you're here. We're all here for a reason. And I know that just about every human being that walks the face of this earth feels like there is a reason for them to be here. What's yours? Have a good day. Bye.